Hello, empty bottle again. We're gonna go ahead and finish up our time here with how we know we're alive. We're playing as a character named Sarah, and we have visited an old town that we moved away from 10 years ago, and we were brought here by news of the death of a friend that we grew up with named Maria. Maria died a year ago. This is the anniversary of her death, and this is the first time we're making it back. We didn't make it to the funeral. We had minimal contact with her, I would say, over the last 10 years, because it seems like we don't really know much about her and what existed after the moment that we left town. Also, we weren't as diligent as we could be about responding to what I would call cries for help. Obviously, something happened. We don't know if it was an accident or a purposeful death. Our character, Sarah, seems to think that the accident, there might be something more to it, that it may be, maybe Sarah took her own life, and I don't know how the car accident happened, but Sarah said something like, was it really an accident? Why'd you go down that road? And that could also mean, like, why'd you go down that road, as though that means, like, a path that sent you to death. I'm not sure, because there's many paths that we can take in life, and that seems to be one of the themes here. One thing that I wanted to say before we continue, I know I'm rambling a little bit here, that I've already edited the first episode. I wanted to make sure that I didn't lose the footage, or that it was fine. I'm still new to this, and I just want to make sure everything's good. I don't want to ever lose footage and then have to, like, play through something again and maybe, like, pretend that I'm playing it for the first time. I've seen people that play video games and they very clearly know, well, maybe it's not that clear, but I noticed that, you know, they're following along more than they should, or it seems like they already have the answers. I want to give you the genuine reaction to these things as I play them. So I never, like, if I ever lose footage, I'm just not gonna have the game on the channel or that episode. Or maybe I'll play through it and talk about it a little bit, but I'm not gonna pretend that it's my first time if I've already played it. So yeah, I wanted to make sure that the footage was good, and in editing the footage, I noticed something interesting happened. When we start the game, and I think this goes for everybody, when you start a game as a player and you get your character, you put your feet in their shoes. You know, they're the protagonist. Just like in a movie, you sort of follow along a character for the most part, and you're supposed to put yourself in their shoes. One thing I noticed, that about halfway through, I started to dislike the character because they were doing things that I would never consider doing, and it kind of took me out of the character, which is fine. That's not a problem. But I did notice that I wasn't saying, like, oh, we do this, or I think we should do this. And I started saying, oh, I think the character would say so-and-so or such and such. And I think that's kind of interesting. And now that Sarah has... See, I'm doing it right now. I'm saying now that Sarah, instead of now that we have been to the grave and sort of begun to gather our thoughts about possible remorse and introspection and just reviewing all the things that have happened, I'm hopeful that maybe we can come around. See, I'm even saying we already. Like, I'm sort of already back in the character. So let's move on here. We are at the grocery store. We're talking to, I believe it's Gunner. I forget the name of the character here, but this was apparently somebody that knew, that formed a writing club, I think. It's been like a day since I did this. My apologies. Hello, Gunnel, that was it. Who's that? It's Sarah. Sarah who? I know you remember me, Gunnel. I see a lot of people in my line of work. Don't remember all of them. Just whatever. I need to ask you something. Oh, hold on. Are you the girl who left town? Yes. One who ran off with another woman? The lesbian? Gunnel, just listen. Oh, it was awful. Breaking your parents' heart like that? You... I wonder if Gunnel is being purposely obtuse, or if she actually thinks we're somebody else, or maybe we did run off with a woman. I have no idea. We don't know. I feel like Sarah would see I'm disassociating from the character again. I feel like Sarah would say, I see you're just as hateful as you ever were. But I don't feel like somebody that's kind of respectful and would thank somebody for giving them more information about a friend of theirs to fill in the pieces of this puzzle. I think, can I please just ask you something? I suppose so. Depends on what it is. Look, you're in a writing group? I'm a founding member of the Haranga writing group, yes. If you wanted to join, I'd have to ask the rest of the group. We don't take just anybody. I don't want to join. I want to ask you about Maria. Ah, yes. That's a shame. Yes, but she was in the group too? Oh, yes, yes. She was a good enough writer. If only she hadn't written about such dreary, awful things. Like what? Oh, it was always death this, death that. Depressing. And before she died? She was writing about that kind of thing? Well, to be perfectly honest, I can't say. She didn't have the decency to turn up to the session that week. She didn't show up? The week before she died? And we're very clear that non-attendance should be announced before. Why didn't she come? You didn't say. But Calais, you know Calais? Odd family. He has that wife who was from some oriental place. Weird woman. Stop, please. What about Calais? He said he'd seen her around that week, all out of sorts. What do you mean? Head in the clouds, distracted by something. That's what I heard. Not herself. Why are you asking? Weren't you two thick as thieves? So you do remember me. A little, I suppose. It was rude of her not to tell us she wasn't going to come. Okay, I'm done. Bye, Gonal. Well, you're welcome. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. I really dislike our character. I know she's hurt and she's suffering, but she's very, very self-absorbed. She doesn't feel like... I feel like she doesn't want to listen. Like these people are trying to give her the information she is even asking for directly, and just not at all receptive to any of it. Talking to the sister at the grave, even talking to the teacher, I felt like we were a little distanced, and I don't know. I feel like, I don't know. I just feel like there's something missing here, and maybe it's grief, maybe it's guilt. I know when people are avoiding guilt, they might lash out and get angry. And that's just like their ego protecting themselves, I guess. I'm not a psychologist. I don't know how it all works. Not herself. I wonder why she didn't go to a writing group. Okay. Time to talk to Chief Inspector Dickhead. Alright, so I guess we're going to go to the police station, talk to Officer Nelson. I think that it's kind of sad that our character hasn't, like me personally, Empty Bottle is thinking that, oh, instead of like, oh, why wouldn't she go to a writing group? Well, Maria sent us texts. Like, she tried to reach out and she needed somebody to talk to. Obviously was going through some struggles and who knows what else. I'm sure we're gonna find out, but like, we had opportunity to be there for them, and we just didn't, whether we were too busy or we just didn't care enough, or we thought, oh, we'll do that later. It's not a priority for us right now. And I can see how this character, that kind of stuff wouldn't be a priority. It just seems very, very, I know I already said self-absorbed, but Yeah, just didn't reply in any timely fashion at all. And that may have been the last message that Maria ever sent anybody. Who knows? That's sad. All right. Here we go. Stan Nelson, at your service. Hello, Stan. Well, well, well. If it isn't Little Miss City Slicker. Sarah would do. Bet they don't know about your delinquent past down in Stockholm, do they? Still shoplifting? Oh, we were a shoplifter. Interesting. One other thing that I saw in the editing is that I remembered when we passed the greenhouse, we recollected that we forced, or coerced, I guess, we coerced Maria into throwing eggs at the greenhouse, and then our character immediately said, like, sort of laughed at her for writing an apology note and slipping it inside the mail slot. Like, that's just kind of who this character is, and it's really depressing because, you know, not taking the time out for people around you. It's just, I don't know. I have a lot to say on it, clearly. I was 14, Stan. Once a thief's always a thief, they say. I don't know if they always say that, but come to turn yourself in. Night in the cells for all time's sake. So we used to spend nights in the cells. Interesting. I wanted to ask you about Maria. Oh. Oh yes. The anniversary. Took you long enough to come pay your respects. A little rude, but maybe not unfounded. What I do is none of your business. Everything in this town is my business, young lady. But go on then, fire away. You're the one that was called to the scene, right? Of the crash? I was, yes. Where was it? Don't you know? You really did cast us all off, didn't you? I really want answers, so I'm going to be as least confrontational as possible. Please just answer the question. As you please. It was out on the main road south to Stockholm, about an hour down. Why on earth would Maria be out on that road? Am I a mind reader, Sarah? So what happened? Oh, you know how fast it gets dark this time of year. And that old road. Branching in the way or something. A branch in the way or something. She skidded off the side into the rocks below. Good thing it was me that got the call, really. Telling the family should always be left to someone senior. I'm head of the precinct these days, you know. Right. Can I get back to my work now? You can get back to scratching your ass, yeah. If you continue to disrespect this office, I'm gonna have to ask you to leave. Suits me just fine. Now, what's it gonna take for Sarah to come around here? What was she doing out on that road? Lena said Jacob hasn't cleared the things from her old room. Why did they decide to live in her parents' creepy old house? I can't imagine. Maybe I should talk to Jacob. I wonder what he's like now. Alright, so they obviously want us to go back to the parents' house. We can talk to Elsa again. Did you forget something, dear? No, I'd better be off. Good old Bible Basher headquarters. I think that may be a mistranslation. That was something I also noticed earlier. I would think that a Bible basher is somebody who, while bashes the Bible and looks negatively at it, I think they meant Bible thumper, possibly. I'm not sure. I could also be wrong. I think I'm right, but I could be wrong. I will easily and readily admit when I'm wrong about things. I don't know everything. Maria's room used to be on the second floor. Oh, that was another thing that it hit me pretty hard in the editing, was the scene in Maria's room when she told Sarah that she was pregnant. And I realized that children are children, and a 17-year-old doesn't have the emotional, or, well, most 17-year-olds don't have the emotional maturity to handle situations properly. And Sarah was very angry that all their plans were being ruined, and I feel like she was really focused on just getting out of the town, and was mad at Sarah for, I mean, sorry, mad at Maria for sort of like ruining the plans. I don't know. Very, very blamey. Hello? Are we just gonna break in? Door seems to be open. You don't just walk into somebody's house. Alright, anyway. Hello? Oh. Sarah? What are you doing here inside my house and not outside on the porch, standing there waiting for me to answer the door? Anyway, carry on. I didn't mean to barge in, except you did, but that's okay. It's all about you. The door was open. Yeah, they usually are around here. Sorry, maybe this is bad time. I can... No, it's fine. Sorry, I just wasn't expecting you. I'm just back for the day, really. Okay. May I come in? Sure, of course. Come into the dining room. Pretty strange to be back in this house. I can imagine. Would you like a coffee? Only if you're making some. That'd be nice. Sure. This is too awkward. Oh. Hello. You must be a Johannes. Yes. Nice to meet you, Johannes. I mean, we've met before. Huh, interesting. Okay, so maybe we left after the birth, or maybe we left and have visited since then. I'm not sure. But only once, and you were very small. Well, anyway. Or maybe she's talking about the pregnancy and before. I'm not sure. Where's my dad? He's in the kitchen. You want me to get him for you? No, it's okay. Seems like we're out of coffee. I haven't really had time. Oh, don't worry. Johannes is so big now. Yeah. And shy. And today is not a good day. Of course. How are you? Oh, you know. Today is... I understand. But I'm alright. That's good. Feels like another lifetime when I was last here. What year is Johannes in now? 4th grade? He's getting stuck I'm sorry. He's getting stuck into his hockey. We both have, really. Good distraction. Right. Yeah. Why are you here, Sarah? In Haranga. It just seemed like the right time. Right. Jacob, do you think it would be okay if I had a look at Maria's old room? I'm afraid it's not very tidy. I haven't really gotten around to... No, that's okay. Sure, if you want to. Thanks. It's up the stairs and, you remember where it is, of course. I won't be long. Maria. That top she's wearing. I can't remember if it was mine and she stole it, or I just borrowed it so often that it felt like mine. It's like some sort of weird shrine to her youth in here. Even the sheets are the same. A Wizard of Earthsea. I read that book when I was little. She was always trying to get me to read her stuff. I'm not sure why I never did. I read, I believe it was a trilogy. It was Wizard of Earthsea, Tombs of Aton. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. And I don't remember what the third one was, but I remember them being good. I remember it was one of the few things I actually read that wasn't required reading for school. Oh god. It hasn't changed at all. That's sad. I feel like this character would say that's creepy or that's weird. I feel like I'm projecting myself onto this character and making her say things that she wouldn't normally say. But I wonder if, like I said in the last one, I wonder if the different decisions result in different things happening in the game. I'm not sure if there's any branching stuff or not. Photograph. There we are. Oh no. Is this going to be a full memory, or is it just going to be a photo? This is the title screen photo. It always looks so small from up here. It is small. It's tiny. I'm going to miss these forests, though. So I wonder if this is from before that last conversation. They've got plenty of forests in Stockholm, Maria. And anyway, we won't have time. Between the literacy literacy festivals, the literary festivals, and the parties, we're not going to be very successful writers if all we do is go to parties. I'll write the great American novel in the mornings. American? It's a figure of speech, Maria. You're gonna love it. I guess we're on the car just sipping some 3.5% alcohol beer. And speaking of love, you're such a dick. How's your new moped guy? What's his name? You know his name. Jay something. Jacob. Right. It's good. I like him. Huh. You think he's stupid? I didn't say anything. No, but I know what you think. Look, I didn't say it's okay. You just happen to be wrong about him, that's all. Okay, if you say so. How long is it now? 11 months, Sarah. 11 months. Leaving this shithole can't come soon enough. I'm so afraid to click these papers. seeing if there's... I'm literally, like, frantically searching for anything else I can click on. Alright, here we go. She really was still writing. Oh, all the townsfolk weren't lying to me. Oh, wow. Alright, sorry. Poetry, mostly, looks like. How long a road must lie ahead between the light and me? Is this what you wrote about, Maria? Can we revisit the papers? What's this? A receipt for 2 bottles of vodka. Wait. This is from... It is. It's from the day she died. Used to hate vodka. Why would she... I should go. I don't imagine Jacob wants me hanging around too long. Must be quite nostalgic for you. The room, I mean. It was. Jacob. I hope you don't mind me asking. Where were you and Johannes on the day that... On this day last year? We were at a hockey game, actually. Seems impossible to think about us enjoying ourselves on that afternoon now. But Maria got us tickets to a hockey game. She usually comes too, but she said it was a special father-son treat. I'm so sorry, Jacob. Thank you. It's... Good luck back in the city. Thank you for having me. So on the afternoon that she died, Maria sent them off to a hockey game because she wanted them out of the way? This is insane. The police would have investigated the possibility that... But the police means Officer Nilsson. He easily could have just assumed it was a road accident, without really thinking about the alternatives. I wonder if we're going to talk to Teach again, or if we're going to go to the police station. Elsa. Yes, my dear? Can you remember Wind Like a Steel Trap I've got? Don't let the wrinkles fool you. The screen shakes each time I cycle through the next text thing. Did you happen to see Maria on the day she died? I did. Must have been one of the last people to do so, I would say. She was coming back this way. Funny look about her. What do you mean, funny? All sneaky looking. Mind you, I'd look sneaky too. If I was off buying great big bottles of alcohol in the middle of the afternoon. Of course, it's easy enough to keep tabs on who's a little too fond of the drink in these parts, standing here all day as I do. She had an alcohol bag, didn't she? Sorry, I'm gonna fumble that word over and over again if I keep trying to say it. She did. Point blank refused to tell me what she had all that drink for. I'm no busybody, you know. I do it for the public good. Okay. Thanks, Elsa. Bye-bye now. Surely someone else has put 2 and 2 together. I should speak to Lena. But why would she have not said if... Hopefully she's still at the grave. That was one other thing that was mentioned too. Lena bought wine for the kids one time. I wonder if Lena feels guilty for having gotten Maria into alcohol at all, or at least felt guilty about like promoting it. I thought I might see you again. I'm kind of in a hurry. Cigarette? No thanks. Are you all right? You seem... I feel like to progress, to get to Lena faster, I would say I'm fine. But I feel like maybe freaking out might lead to more of a, I don't know what the word is for it, like a revelation about how we actually feel about things. Maybe we can become a little less self-centered. Although this sounds like a self-centered answer now that I think about it. I don't know. How could I be alright? No, quite right. None of us are today, really. Philip, do you happen to remember what you were doing on this evening last year? Do I remember? Goodness. I'm not sure how I could forget. Where were you when you heard? Where? Has nobody... Gosh, no, I suppose you wouldn't know. I was at Maria's house. We all were. Oh, shit. Was this gonna be like an intervention? I mean, I was, and Johannes and Jacob and a few of Maria's other friends. That means Jacob lied to us about going to the game. What? Why? I wish I knew. It was all quite mysterious. Oh, Jesus. She invited us all to come around that evening. But she wouldn't quite say why. What did she say? She said that all would be revealed, but we weren't allowed to know beforehand. But we were all there at 7, like she asked. Of course, she never arrived. Instead, we got Officer Sten at the door with an awful news. What did you think you were all there for? It's odd. In all the shock of what happened, I haven't really thought about it much. I guess I assumed she wanted to tell us something. It must have been terrible. Of course it was. But it was strangely a kind of blessing. That we're all together, I mean. Almost as if she knew. I need to find Lena. No problem. Give her my best. Thanks, Teach. I could have helped. I could have stopped you. Why did nobody else stop you? How can I make it up to you? What should I do? You deserve for people to know the truth, no matter how painful it is to hear. I feel like they all know. I feel like... I don't know. Let's see where this goes. Lena. Hello, Sarah. I need to talk to you. Are you alright? You look... No, I'm not alright. I can't believe this place. It like, the town drove her to do anything. I don't know, man. You can't blame the town for your own actions. And I don't know. I know situations sort of shape how you react to things and how you grow, and you know, stimulation and response. But I feel like Sarah really blames this town for a lot of the negative things, and running from it is like her way of ignoring doing things on her own and making things better. I don't know. I have to tell you something. Okay. Did you know? Excuse me? No. Okay. Okay. Sarah, what are you... Please. It's not right. What's not right? It's not right that nobody knows how terrible her life had become. Getting pregnant all those years ago, it just trapped her here. It stifled her dreams of getting out of here. I really can't believe how oblivious this character is, but go on. And becoming a writer and seeing the world, she spiraled deeper and deeper into this dark, horrible place. And nobody saw it. Nobody saw how bad things have become. Even though it was right there in the things she wrote. And I should have been there for her, but I wasn't. Nobody was. And when she got blind drunk and drove herself off the road, nobody knew her well enough to see what had really happened. How is that possible? I'm sorry, I shouldn't be. This must be so hard to hear. I'm sorry. I'm baffled at this point. I'm sorry. And we're gonna continue. I'm so sorry. Sarah, you need to calm down. While this may be true, telling somebody to calm down when they need to calm down never calms them down. It's like the worst thing you could say to somebody. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. You should be. But calm down. I'm going to show you something. What? Just come with me. We're going inside the church? Yes, we're going inside the church. It won't kill you. There's an evensong service tonight, being held in her memory. I don't understand. Why are we... Look around. Look at all these candles people have lit. Flowers, letters, pictures of her. Do you think she wasn't loved? Isn't missed by everyone in Harunga every single day? Mourned by countless people here that you never bothered to get to know? But... no, Sarah. There is no but. You think what? That after you left her here all those years ago, that she just ground to a halt? That her life here only... sorry. That her life here can only have been small and sad by comparison to yours? No, Lena, let me explain the evidence. The evidence? Who do you think you are? Why do you think this is happening here? Or what do you think is happening here? This is real life, Sarah. Real life, in which my beautiful baby sister died in a car accident. But why does she buy all that vodka? Vodka? What in the hell are you talking about? The receipts in her room for all that alcohol, and the party, her gathering you all together so when she died. For God's sake. And the stuff she was writing. Those dark poems. What, writing about death means you're going to kill yourself? How can you... the party? Alright, I'll tell you what the party was for. She'd been working on a book. A novel, I guess. She hadn't let me read it. She sent samples to an agent who wanted to take her on. That's what the party was for. To share her good news. Yeah. Why did Philip not know that? Philip? You'd only told me. I never did tell him. It would have broken his heart. But that's wonderful. Many things in her life were wonderful, Sarah. It's a pity you hated this place too much to find that out. I'm But then why was she out on that road? Where was she going? Lena, look. Please understand that there were 2 reasons I didn't share this with you before. Firstly, it's upsetting. And secondly, I didn't think you deserved to know any more about her life, to be honest. Please, Lena, where was she going? Our protagonist is very thick-skulled. She was going to Stockholm. Find you. She wanted to, I don't know, surprise you with her good news. She said you were stuck in your office all weekend, so she was going to go shopping in the city, tell you her news in person, and then get back in time for the party. I told her it was a ridiculous idea, but she was really set on it, on sharing it with you. So yes, that's why she was out on the road that day. You are why. I don't know what to say. I do. You thought it was impossible that living here could make someone happy. That having a house, a son, a family could make someone complete. I'm so sorry. Thought I was doing the right thing. What, by coming here to play detective? You saw what you wanted to see. What you wanted to see was confirmation that you chose the right path. And that she didn't. Lena, I'm so sorry. Don't be. Too late for any of that. The service will be starting soon. I think it would be best if you didn't stay. I'm so sorry, Lena. Goodbye, Sarah. I wonder if we can confront Jacob, or if we're supposed to just walk back to the bus stop. I went the wrong way, but I think it was actually the right way. Maybe we can speak to Maria again. Maria, I have nothing to... I can't excuse myself. And it hurts because if you were here, you would. Forgive me. For all my selfishness, my stupidity. Because you were just the most... But Lena's right. I hardly knew you at all. But that's the thing, isn't it? You aren't here. And if you were, none of this would have... If I had been there for you, then you might still be here. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry not to have deserved our friendship better. I love you. I can't believe I left it this late to make it clear. I really do. Even though I'm so bad at it. Goodbye, Maria. And congratulations, too. On the book. I bet it was beautiful. Hey, it's post game empty bottle. Sorry, I got a little quiet there during the scene in the forest and the credits. I was sort of processing what the game did to me. It actually caught me a little off guard. The story bamboozled me a little bit. It kind of took my expectations and turned them upside down. And not only did it turn them upside down, I think it used them to show me that I was doing the same thing that Sarah was doing. Let me explain. So, with smaller games and, well, quote unquote, the free game on Steam, you don't expect a story to be that great. Um, you expect it to be very, very simple. And a lot of these that I've seen kind of beat you over the head with their ideas and thoughts. So they start us off with this little text message thing that is very clearly a cry for help. At least it's presented that way. And I think we're made to think that Sarah's gonna figure it all out and figure out what really happened, and that Maria's death was a self-inflicted death, and that we would kind of get clues and hints and confirmation of that. And the entire first half of the game, or almost the entire game, we see Sarah just completely oblivious to everything. She doesn't listen. She, even when she's being told things directly, she just doesn't either hear it or want to believe it. If we look at the scene where Maria told Sarah that she was pregnant, we find that Sarah completely just ignores it and doesn't even like consider the idea that her best friend's life is being turned completely upside down. And instead she takes it as like an attack on her almost, and that she's like, how dare you do this to me? We were going to leave this town together, and you're only doing this because other people in your life are forcing you to do this. And she can't just fathom that anybody in this town could ever be happy. And once that happens, we see Sarah start talking to the townsfolk a little bit and doesn't seem to really listen to them either. Every time they're trying to help or she's going to get some information, she kind of turns it into a confrontation and avoids whatever revelation that she maybe needs to experience to realize that, people can actually be happy in this town. And I think that at that point, the game starts hinting that we're going to find out all the dark things that are going to confirm our ideas about the self-inflicted death. And then because that's going to confirm what we already quote unquote know, we sort of ignore also the idea. Just like Sarah's doing, we start to ignore the idea that people in this town can be happy. And we start to actually get the clues. We get the bottles of vodka, we get the receipt for the vodka, we get the dark poem, we get a few of these things that kind of lead us to think like, oh, hey, it was self-inflicted, and we weren't there to answer the call or whatever. And then the game gives us that last conversation with Lena, and once she drops the truth of what happened, that it was actually everything's fine, everything's happy, and because we didn't answer the phone, Maria was actually driving to come get us because she thought it would be a cool little surprise, which we as a viewer or player of the game probably didn't even think of because we were so fixated on the idea that we had this assumption that was right. The fact that it wasn't right, that got me, and I really, really appreciated that. I think that I'm sure some people saw it coming, but I didn't. And it just made me sit and think about how maybe all the complaints that I had about Sarah being oblivious and not like unrealistic, but I didn't like the character. I at one point I completely disassociated from her. I was like, I don't want to be this character. She's oblivious. She's not listening. And then I realized that I did the same thing that she did at the same time while I was talking about how she was doing it, and that impressed me. That really got me, and I like that a lot. And that's what I was processing, that feeling when the credits were rolling, and I really appreciate that. I like when something challenges what I think I know. I approached this game thinking it was just simple story, and they were like, "Nope, let's just pull that rug out from under you." So that was pretty awesome. I enjoyed it. Big shout out to the devs and the writers, and beautifully made game. I really enjoyed this. Thanks for hanging out, and thanks for letting me ramble about my thoughts at the end here. Sorry I couldn't just jump right into them. I needed some time to kind of process it and write a couple notes down. And, I'm not somebody that's going to do video essays or anything like that. I don't think I'm qualified for that, but I can talk about how I feel, right? Anyway, again, thanks for being here, and we will see you next time.